Ben Tennyson taking on Dante from DMC crossed my mind after the recent anime dropped, but Twitter and I know that Dante loses because he isn't scaling to Kid Ben, who is a solar system buster. But could Ben 10 stop a significantly stronger video game Dante? Or is he a threat that requires Alien X to stand a chance? In the 2001 graphic novel Devil May Cry Volume 1, we get to see some basic feats of Dante, as it takes place right before the beginning of the first DMC game. Dante has above average strength and AP, being able to easily rip humans in half and wreck cars in a single strike. It makes sense since the guy isn't even human, being the strange love child of a demon father and a human mother. He is also far stronger than the demons that he hunts, as he has resistance to every modern weapon created, which in theory would range from guns to even missiles, mostly because of his regenerative ability. He has the speed to match his kind of AP, which is many times faster than sound or hypersonic. We've seen this in his fight against Glyver, as he is able to keep up with him and counter his moves. He scales to about building level in AP, but that gets outdone by so many of Ben's aliens. Even the underused ones like Buzzshock, who has the ability to eradicate small towns with its raw electrical power, along with harming incredibly durable foes like an enhanced Dr. Animo, who can tank multi-continental attacks from forearms, and Kevin, who has survived attacks from Webbig, who is easily planetary. But Buzzshock could easily scale to large town level in AP off of those feats previously mentioned. He also splits himself into another exact copy with the exact amount of AP, reflexes, and speed once he has taken lethal damage. So Dante doesn't even have what it takes to beat even the Duracell themed alien in the Omnitrix. But how much stronger does he get as the story progresses in Devil May Cry 3? He evolves from being building level after his fight against the guardian of the Temen Niguru, Cerberus, who was capable of instantaneous cryokinesis when he first met up with Dante, as he froze the entrance to the Temen Niguru instantly. This places Cerberus' AP at city block level, but Dante is able to make quick work of it and harness his soul into a weapon. He gets even stronger after his Devil Trigger awakening later in the game, where his strength becomes comparable to Nero and his Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 4. This is because Nero has a similar awakening to Dante through the use of the sword Yamato, with Dante's Devil Trigger awakening happening through the use of the sword Rebellion. Now, to put that into context, Nero, after awakening his Devil Trigger, was able to take down Sanctus Diabolica, who was using the sword of Sparta, a very powerful weapon, but we'll talk more about that once it's in Dante's hands. And he also fought a much more powerful opponent, the Savior, who recreated Fortuna, a sun, and a moon. These are at bare minimum star level feats, which would place Dante after his Devil Trigger in DMC at about star level in AP, since his power is comparable to Nero's. His speed goes up to faster than light as well, as he is able to dodge and block the damned Rook laser and also run down a building so fast that his body catches fire like a spacecraft on re-entry. But before the NRG and Atomics lasers come for me and remind me that the 11-year-old Ben still outscales with feedback, let's talk about the large strength upgrade he gets in DMC 1. Now, on his way to battle the Demon King Mundus, he encountered, battled, and took down Nightmare, a bio weapon that was created by Mundus, the Dark Prince. This creature has been stated to be able to casually destroy the entire underworld, which has an undefined scale that some believe is literally infinite. And he also gains more power when he acquires the completed Sword of Sparta, a weapon that has energy manipulation, dimensional sealing, and a resistance to time stopping. It also gives him perfect stealth, being able to hide the wielder from opponents with extrasensory perception. This all gets a plain as day showing when Dante is in his Sparta transformation. This easily makes DMC 1 Dante low multiversal in AP, and having amped all of his stats from end of DMC 3 to now, we can easily say that he is most definitely many times faster than light as well, with a durability that scales along with his AP of being multiversal, since he has fought and taken damage from multiversal powerhouses like Mundus in his Sparta form. But how does Ben stack up to a crazy powerful guy like this? Now before we get to that, a word from our sponsors, ElevenLabs. Have you ever wanted to get into content creation or just have a very simple crisp voiceover done, but you just weren't as confident in your own voice and wanted to remain anonymous? Well, you can do that with ElevenLabs and its text-to-speech tools. With a wide variety of voices to suit your requirements, transforming text and speech into a crisp, real-sounding voiceover is easy. If you want to just test it out for completely free, you get about 10,000 characters for the month to start with. And if you want to go even harder, there are multiple payment plans that give you a much larger volume of characters and other cool features too, like voice cloning and duplication so that you can have AI speak for you. So join today with my affiliate link in the description and start your elevated voiceover journey today. Now back to you, me. Now all of Ben's major heavy hitters like Atomics, Weibig, NRG certainly do not scale to feats like this, with the peaks of strength here like Atomics being able to only battle against Malgax, who was at bare minimum solar system to multi-solar system level in AP, since Vilgax in Alien Force is easily able to conquer and destroy planets regularly, and Malware, the other part of the fusion, was most definitely a solar system buster as he has beaten Weibig pretty easily. So simply looking at it at face value, it would be an absolute no difficulty wash for Dante that would force Ben into using Alien X if he didn't have one very special alien who dropped a multiversal feat casually in Omniverse, and that is Clockwork. Let me give you some context, starting with this bomb. Now, this is called
a Chronosapien time bomb.
It is a multiversal bomb that has the ability to erase the existence of anyone or anything throughout the entire multiverse. We saw it once in the episode and then there were none, and Vilgax set it off and had it destroy every single Ben Tennyson in the multiverse that had an Omnitrix, with only one Ben surviving, which was the Ben Tennyson who had never encountered the Omnitrix in the first place. That Ben, after the bomb did the complete Tennyson erasure, was able to casually, and I mean casually, undo the multiversal erasure of every Ben Tennyson with an Omnitrix. And this isn't the only time we've seen Clockwork do something crazy multiversal, as we've seen him zap time travelers and force them into an alternate dimension. This was all courtesy of Ultimate Ben 10,000 in the episode Ben 10K Returns. So Ben does have the ultimate one-shot move that can face nearly any foe. But could Clockwork be able to beat Dante in a fight, or does Ben need Alien X? Now, the way this fight would go is that Ben would be mistaken for a demon, possibly, and after the Devil May Cry shop has been contacted, Dante would approach him as a necessary kill. Now, of course, human Ben would get speed blitzed by Dante, and for the sake of the narrative, Ben turns into Clockwork. He starts getting battered by Dante because his speeds are so fast that he basically can't see him. But Clockwork would be able to just use his power to slow time down so that he could be able to keep up with Dante, who is going many times faster than light. Something similar to what he did against the Lucubra. Both would start trading blows, the Time Ray versus the slashes of Sparta. But because of Dante's resistance to time stopping powers, he is still able to blitz Ben, maybe even taking an arm off of him. But after turning up the time stop even more, Dante would come to a near motionlessness, and that would give Ben the opportunity to nab him with the Time Ray and erase Dante from existence. So could Ben Tennyson actually stop Dante? Most definitely. Though he is a multiversal threat, Clockwork is more than enough to delete him from the DMC franchise. So he is not an Alien X level threat. But what do you guys think? Does Dante have more in the tank, or does Ben solo him regardless? And for another fictional battle, click this video here.